feel like I'm in my feelings again, which I really shouldn't be, but it creeps up. It hits sometimes. I think just with me, I overthink too much. I tend to overthink, and then it kind of just, it's like a hurricane in my mind. Like it just loops and loops and loops, trying to, destroy everything, destroy my how impactful I try to grow. Not how I try to go. How can I put it? Like it spirals between basically what's important to me or just trying to figure things out. Basically, with different scenarios, different tactics, I'm trying to work on that possibly might be helpful or might work. Might not make any sense, but that's kind of where I kind of interpret it, how my mind is when I do feel as, I don't want to say as like not important, but when I feel like I'm not living in my truth. It's just like I have doubts, and I tend to get them from time to time. Maybe I'm just talking about my feelings too much. Maybe I'm just in my head. I tend to get in my head a lot. Maybe that's just what it is. Maybe it might be just cope. That could be something, that might be a possibility of what that could be. But yeah, that could be a possibility of what that typically could be. I don't try to take life too seriously. I don't try to live my life or like just to revolve around the world, because this world is full of corruption and violence, and just kind of reading the Bible about that, it really opened, like, I really kind of see that now. Like, this all just makes sense. And the only light and then the only believer was the Lord himself, trying to give us eternal life and trying to, believe in his son. Believe in his father. But, typically that's where he came down. But then, like, how the world is, how it always used to been, full of corruption and violence and, I guess, like, hatred. I don't know why that is. Like, I say, hopefully I can get in more depth into that. Just to know the reason, to see and to, like, clearly understand the logical reason behind why the world revolves around that for centuries. But I can't tend to live my life or revolving around the world, because the Lord didn't do that. And why should I do that? I should revolve my life around me, focusing on me, because this world does not care. But it's so freaking hard. It's literally so hard. And maybe I'm being a downer, but maybe I'm just like not toughing it up. Maybe I'm not being tough. Maybe I'm not trying to be like, maybe I'm not sucking my whole feelings up, like not being the man I'm supposed to be. Maybe I'm not trying to be a man I'm supposed to be right now. I am, but I know one thing, I am still human, and I go through stuff, but I know there's a lot more people. I shouldn't really be complaining about this, or maybe I am complaining, maybe not, whatever the case may be. This is mainly just like me talking about life, just what revolves around me, just like what kind of revolves around me, what goes on with me, basically. But I know there's like a lot more people that go through a whole lot more worse stuff than I do. I know that. And I typically want to help those in need, but I feel like it's not possible for me to do that. I can't really help the people that I want. I'm talking about like tons of people that literally are, out in the streets every day that don't have food or water, that doesn't have any home, that doesn't have any homes to go to, nobody to talk to, no way to take care of themselves. Um, and that's typically people I want to help, and it breaks my heart that I literally can't do those things because the world revolves around funds, money, and that's not something that I have. That's literally something I don't even have to keep up with at least keep up with myself, to be honest. Like my goal, I'm not going to say that actually, but typically one of my resolutions was I wanted to get to a point where I'm I want to get my resolution was to get to a point like basically this year is where I'm able to sustain myself to where I am straight with my life and then help the ones that I love and return the favor into what they done for me, and then also give back to people that I want to help. But I guess every little thing counts. Whatever you have, it just like the little thing. It's just the little things that probably would count. Um, Typically try to grow as a person every single day. It is difficult, but you gotta think about other people that might just go through that might go through so much worse than you do. Um, but just really, but just to spread the word as much as possible, to give as much inspiration and motivation as I possibly can into everything I do. I try to do at least try to do every single thing, not every single thing. I try to do my absolute best within everything I do and every day that I live. um I want to spread this word as much as possible if it reaches to people. One thing I want to just spread the word as much as possible if it reaches to an amount of people that need to hear this is to always live. I'm not even looking at the camera when I say this, but while I'm even talking, but my whole thing is to always live your internal self. Living your internal self. And what I mean by living your internal self is to always keep it real, to always be real with yourself, to always live in your truth, to always be truthful, be real, be positive, and just be who you are. Believe in that itself. That is your mission. And that's literally your mission. Your mission is to believe who you are as a person, be real with yourself, and be truthful. And there's probably more to that, but that's kind of what I learned about it. Living your internal self, living your truth, being real with yourself, and just believe who you are. And to believe the one who gave this whole thing, gave this whole concept of life that we live in, basically. To always live in your truth. It's very, very, very like a word that kind of stands out when kind of living, especially on your own, because you being alone, being lonely, and then you just kind of having the only person that you got because nobody knows you like you do. Nobody understands you like you do. Because you are yourself. You basically in this life on your own. Basically everything that you went through, you know about it. Everything that you've been through, you know about it. You know what you've been through. You know who you are as a person. The who, what, when, and why you are the person that you are. didn't mean to like get too vulnerable about that. It's just been sitting in my mind. It was sitting in my mind yesterday, and I kind of just wanted to talk about it, get it off my chest, and just at least put it out in the air, and just talk about it, and just post it, and just post it. And that's an idea that I had. Um, please take care of yourself. Do the best you can. Um, regardless what's happening, always be real with yourself, be truthful, and believe in yourself, no matter what. Don't ever be negative to yourself. Don't ever talk down. Do not be corrupted. Don't corrupt yourself. Don't violate yourself. Don't hate. Don't hate yourself at all, because it's not healthy. Because then you tend to overthink. Probably not even that. Like, probably not even that. Um, I guess it just weakens you if you do those things. It just weakens you as a whole. And then it just leads to, something else. You probably might even lose who you are. You probably don't even know. You probably would just lose yourself. You probably would lose who you are. It's a struggle, it's a competition, it is a war. Regardless of what anybody says, it's a competition, it's a war, it is a fight. And the situation I'm in right now, I do not like it. I don't. It literally disgusts me. And I don't know how the freak I tend to keep getting distracted and just still be in a position. I'm still young, but I have this mindset that it'll probably take people years to kind of figure it out, to kind of understand where their life might be, like understanding your situation to where you might be. It might take people years, or people just probably okay with it. I don't have no shame to that. I don't have no shame towards that at all. I'm just talking about myself. This is not who I am. This is not what I want to do, and I need to get serious. I need to put my foot down, and I can't accept this, because there's so much I want to do, and there's so much people I want to help. I want to build, and then I just want to make. I just kind of not only become important, but to kind of stand out and build a legacy, to build something that nobody will ever forget. I want to build something that no one. I'm saying stuttering. I want to build something that no one will ever forget, and just to keep spreading, keep showing positivity, keep spreading the word. Just keep spreading the word. Eternal is such an important thing. Eternal life, living in your truth, knowing your principles, is so freaking important. Just believing, never being, I'm not saying like never be hungry or never be thirsty, but stay hungry, but don't get thirsty. Just stay very hungry. Don't ever get thirsty, though. Don't ever. Well, it depends how you use it. I don't know, but it just depends how you use it. But I want to say something else. I've been a person that's been lonely all the time. I probably said this in my other video, but I tend to get lonely sometimes. I'm so okay. I've throughout my whole, like, my years, like me being alive, like I've always been a person that's been to myself. I've talked to people, but not necessarily close to people. But I've always been a person that's been to myself, which I've totally been okay with. At me being a young age, to a point where I'm becoming like a preteen. Like, I had like kids to play with, being a kid, of course, but like it was to a point where I was reaching like maybe 10 up until like now. It was like I just been to myself, didn't really talk to anybody. I gotten quiet. I've always been a quiet person, but I've always been to myself, which is something that I've been used to and something that I've coped with for so long and for an early age, which is mind blows me sometimes. From time to time, it mind blows me. Um, just understanding that from time to time, it kind of rubs me the wrong way because I can't really express how I feel, especially knowing that people are so cruel and so mean and disrespectful. But it's sad to say, but it's sad to say, but that's normal. From the world that we live in today, it's so normal. It's sad, but you just gotta surround yourself that are like minded as you are, that share the same aspirations, the same mindset, that share the same values and the same eternal aspect as you do, believing in the Lord, believing in God. But you gotta surround yourself with people like that. But I know what it's like being alone. It's not something to always. It's not always healthy for me because it's like sometimes I don't have anything. I don't have nobody to lean on to kind of talk about me in general. But hopefully I can build this with you guys, with anybody watching, and just to kind of take this as a big consideration, to just take this as like a big thing to always strive for more, trying to get to where I can help as many people as I can. Just to live my life the way I want to live it, and just to feel at peace and have freedom instead of living like a slave every day, hating something, hating something that I don't want to be around, hating something and being around something that I don't want to surround myself in, just for certain, just for a certain task or like certain outcome, just for a certain outcome, and still not living the way I want to live. No shame towards it, but I can't see myself doing that all the time. It just, and then every day it kind of builds, and it makes me so freaking disgusted, and it just makes me sick, bro, to my stomach. It just makes me ill. It just makes me ill. But I'm going to do everything I possibly can to, make sure I'm straight, work on myself as much as possible. Work on myself as much as possible. And you guys should do the same too if you're kind of in the same situation as I'm in. Like, like just feeling like, if you're getting like distracted any kind, you're not motivated, you're not striving, dedicated, or anything like that, to kind of, be free and just to see light and just want to do more. You want to do more for yourself. And just want to be even more stronger. Enough about that, but just my whole point is, live your internal self, be true to yourself every single time, every single day. Um, you'll probably get a lot more benefit if you do. You'll get more benefit that way if you just live for real within yourself, be truthful to yourself and to the people around you. Even though there's pain, but like pain is something you can overcome, and you can not let it break you. You can't, like, once you get over pain, once you like defeat pain, like there's nothing that can break you, bro. There's nothing that can break you down at all. And that's what makes you powerful. Really, if you challenge yourself to go through pain and you get through it, it literally just makes you more powerful. It just builds you. It makes you stronger. Because like not even going through it, just every day is like a risk. Depending on what you're doing with it, every day is a risk. I just want to, the people that I'm surrounded with, the people I'm trying to come in contact with, I want to make sure that people under, hopefully, I say, if anybody that I come in contact with or who I surround myself with, I want to at least have everyone to know who they are. It'll probably be a much better place if everybody knows who they are instead of surrounding themselves with like, the world, because it's meant to break you down. It's meant to lose yourself. It's meant to be like a world full of corruption and violence. And then you tend to going to become that way if you don't know who you are. And you you tend to live your life for the world instead of yourself. You tend to live your life revolving what's going on earth instead of yourself, and instead of what the man upstairs, the light. Probably just yapping. But pretty much that's really what I wanted to say. I know I want to speak more about it, but I don't know if there's any more that I want to touch on at this moment. But live your internal self, live your life, live live truthfully to anything. Live truthfully, especially to yourself, instead of lying to yourself. Instead of, don't ever live your life with regret. Take chances. If you have, your mind is such a powerful thing you will not understand. Your mind is such a powerful thing, but use it as a tool, not as your character. Don't use it as any aspect as your character, but just use it as a tool. Use it as a tool to build. But you have the ability to control it. You don't have the ability to control anything else, though. It's not real life. It's not. I wish it was like that, but it isn't. You can't really change anything except for you. You can really change. You control your mind. You can control your mind, but really just know yourself. Be real with yourself. Be truthful. You'll receive more benefit. You'll feel more. You'll feel more relieved, and you'll feel more believed, and you'll feel more believable in yourself. Um, but yeah, your mind is so powerful. You don't even know it. Like there's times where um I tend to think about certain stuff, and I'm like, okay, I should take this into account. Like maybe I should use my mind to that extent. Cause I know it would lead me. I mean, that's typically anything I think about. Typically anything I think about, I will become, or I will just execute it. Cause everything literally starts in the mind, and then it projects to your. It projects like as a like a as a little timeline from like what you think about become your what your thoughts are become your action, then becomes your behavior, then it becomes your lifestyle, and then it becomes your destiny. But your mind is so powerful. Like everything starts in the mind, which is a very, very powerful thing. Um, Always try instead of living with regret, instead of not trying. Because the thing is, with trying, you could just fail. Like, 'cause if you don't try, then it doesn't happen. Like, if you don't try, nothing happens. But as long as you try, you made progress. You fail, but you can still get back up and still do it again and again. Because like taking those chances gives you a possibility. Giving those Taking those chances gives you a possibility. Because if not, I mean, it's like, and then you're just sitting there. You're not doing anything with it. You're just standing. You're just basically standing. You're not doing anything with it. Not even trying to take no action. It's just like you're not doing nothing at that point. Take chances. Always try. Always believe. But I know for sure I gotta believe that anything that I have written down in my book, I have a journal, but anything I wrote down in my book, I will accomplish, and I said it right here. Everything I wrote in my book, I am going to accomplish. It is going to happen. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. If you guys have a journal, write all your thoughts down. It relieves stress off your mind. It all your thoughts is now just on paper. It's a stress reliever, and it just gets everything out. Um, it really helps. It helped me. It really does help me because now I'm not really thinking. I don't have a whole bunch of thoughts just sitting in my mind, and then I tend to. It's not like a whirlpool just sitting in there, because then all those thoughts could just sink, just be like. It could turn to like a storm, and then just fill with emotions. But I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm trying to make it make sense. Um, everybody has the ability to accomplish anything they want in life. If you think it's a great idea, whatever your thoughts are, execute it to make it your destiny. Whatever your thoughts are, just execute it, make it happen. Either say it, believe it, whatever. If it's a thought, use it. Use it. Even if it's just a random thing, it's probably put there for a freaking reason. I would never try to like, if I think about, if it's a thought in my head, I'm gonna use that thought. Like I'm gonna use it. It's placed in my head for a reason. Like, why would I just let it go to waste? Why would I just let it be a thought? Like, why would I just let it sit in there? Just why would I let it sit in there? It's for a reason, and it might be just a sign. It could be a sign, you know. So I rather do that, and then it just makes me feel more like it feels like I have power. It makes me feel like I have power. Um, enough of me talking, but I just really want to help as much people as I can. Have the ability to. I know I will. Um, I believe I will, and I want to do as much as I can to, you know, sustain. I want to have as much to sustain and just help people that I love and return the favor, and just help as much people build and strive, be more dedicated, and typically I don't want to try to talk about my feelings, but in that case it could get in the way sometimes, but just got to focus on, you know, what your missions are. You got to focus on that. Because feelings is just, you know, feelings could be temporary. Like, that's not really something important. Not really something to be, really not something to be thinking about, or even just like come across your mind. Let it dictate your whole personality itself. because it's just going to ruin you. It's just going to deteriorate you into a whole nother aspect of yourself, which kind of typically leads to depression, of course. But whatever scenario I'm in, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm able to walk, talk, breathe, that's all that really matters. I don't want to ask for much, but if this gets out, people might see it. But eternal is the word that I want to spread as much as possible to people. Just living in your truth. It's such a, I feel like it will make at least people, I think it would just make people, feel more confident and just feel like, I think that word could just make people be themselves. But just use that in like I don't want to use it as a negative way, but definitely a positive way. But if it is negative, if you know that you can't say certain stuff, then just don't. If there's certain things you can't say, certain things you don't need to say, then just don't, because that's what your mind is telling you to do. Just be truthful. Just be truthful with yourself. Be real with yourself at any aspect of your life. But I love each and every one of you. I appreciate anybody that had the ability to watch this video, see it, whatever this video possibly came to be. But this was just me kind of being real and me just really living who I really am instead of just living my life. Instead of just living kind of not being appreciative, just basically lying, just living my life as a lie and just not being who I am. Besides from that, not gonna happen. But I know I keep saying it, but once again, live your eternal self. Be real, be truthful, and always believe in yourself. You're the only one you got in this life. And you have the ability to accomplish anything. It all starts in the mind. But I love each and every one of you. Make sure you liking the button. You toughin', you ducking. Subscribe if you're new to join the community, because we is just too tough. I love in each and every one of you. I popped out. Now I'm signing out.